Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is a Tea Tuesday video, and it is a collab, and I will be putting the name of the collab up here in writing so that I don't mess it up, and you'll be able to pause that and read that, and I'll also put it in the description below. So today I was looking at some old Snapchats today, and it got me thinking. And as you probably know, Kris Jenner has been in the news for that amazing facelift that she has received. And it is a work of art. I tell you, like, the surgeon who did that should be getting some type of award, because, I mean, he has defied gravity. You know, like, move over Elphaba. Like, this dude has, he's defied gravity. Like, has literally just gotten everything and just put it all back up and sucked it all back. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with plastic surgery. Like, I'm on the fence about it. Like, I think if you really want it and you really need it, then there's no issue with it. But if you're just having it because, you've got body dysmorphia and you think it's going to fix your problems or something, like, you are risking your life when you go under anesthetic. So that's the only reason why, I think, oh, is it worth it? So, I mean, look, she does look better, I suppose. I don't know if that's the right word. She looks younger. She looks more refreshed. I don't know if better is the right word. But at her age, is it worth risking your life, especially when you're a mum and you've got kids and grandchildren? I don't know. I don't know if that was a choice that I would make, but everyone has to make their own choices. But it got me thinking, so I'll put up some pictures here. So, okay, so story time. So see this picture here? So years ago, a few years back, everyone went mad on the filters, the Snapchat filters, the Instagram aesthetic, the Instagram filters, all of that. I was right in there on that. I wouldn't even post a picture a lot of the time unless I had makeup on or I had a filter on. Even just like a mild filter, just to smooth everything out and make everything look good. And now I get on here in my dressing gown some days, my hair unwashed some days. I've not washed my hair today. I have to wash my hair every second day because it goes oily, and it's looking a bit flat today, but hey, it is what it is. I can't fill it up with dry shampoo because I'm sensitive to chemicals and shit. So, it is what it is, and I'm not going to knock myself out. I'm here to be real. I'm here to document my life and my journey, and not everybody rolls out of bed looking perfect every day. Most of us don't. So, I've come a long way. I've come a long way, and I suppose part of it is insecurity, Not that I was deeply insecure, but I suppose I wanted to present myself a certain way. I like wearing makeup. I'm studying a makeup diploma, so I enjoy wearing makeup. And also too, I think after going through a divorce, it's a way of making yourself feel better, like you're already feeling bad on the inside, you're grieving, you're not feeling your best, so you're like, okay, what can I do? I can make myself look nice on the outside, it's a bit like a security blanket, I suppose. I suppose that's the way I would look at it. I use makeup as a security blanket, and so I would just feel better if I posted a picture of me wearing makeup or with a filter. And then I got to a point where the people started complaining about filters, and then you sort of feel like, oh, I'm being fake ass bitch. And then you don't want to post those things, and you feel like, oh, people are judging me. And then you get to a point, maturity is realizing that people are going to judge you no matter what you do. People are going to bitch and complain and moan no matter what you do. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. And so anyway, getting back to this story time, this picture here, I posted on a dating website, and I remember someone telling me that I had oversold myself when they met me in real life. And that was like the biggest punch in the guts. And I went and asked all my friends, I said, am I overselling myself? Like, what the hell, like, I know I've got a filter on, but do I really look that much different? Okay, so here a picture of filter, picture of me around about that time, side by side comparison. You can make up your own mind. But it was a real punch in the guts. And I think too, another thing is that on dating websites, we all put our best foot forward, you know, we all put the best pictures up, and then sometimes it doesn't translate to real life. Like, my weight has been a struggle. My weight's been up and down. For my chronic health issues, my weight has, you know, I've piled on the weight, and I was like 20 kilos lighter at this point than what I am now. And even then, guys would tell me I was fat, I was chubby, and, you know, they didn't realize that I was as chubby as I was from my pictures. And, you know, I was like a size 14, but that wasn't good enough for them, you know, like, every guy I dated told me I was basically fat. One guy gave me $600 to join the gym, and then we broke up and I gave it back to him out of principle. And, you know, it's, that hurt me a lot, and I mulled over that for a long time. And, you know, I just need a minute, I can't think. But basically, it taught me something. That's where I was going. It taught me something. Like, it made me realize, like I said, people will complain no matter what you do, and if someone doesn't love you the way you are, then they're not the person for you. So I used to think that I had to improve myself, that I had to be a certain way before I was lovable, you know. Okay, so I remember a while back, maybe in the late 90s, I'm not sure exactly when, but all these self-help books were coming out, and that's saying, like, you can't find someone else to complete you, you have to complete yourself. And there was this whole mindset of basically saying, like, you need to work on yourself before you meet somebody, you have to work on yourself before you start dating someone else. You know, you can't go to another relationship and expect that to fix you and complete you. Oh, I've got dents in my arm because I took my bracelet off. You know, and so that whole type of mindset. And when I ended up having my second divorce, I kind of thought, yeah, all right, I've had these 2 relationship fails. I didn't want to end up in another bad relationship. I want to make sure the next relationship I get into, it's a good one. And so I really was in this whole mindset of, like, you know, you have to learn from your mistakes, and even if it's not your fault or it's not something that you did or whatever, you can still learn to have better boundaries. So if somebody mistreats you or somebody does something and you don't feel safe or okay with that, that's a red flag. That's your chance to put up that boundary and go, you know what, I'm actually not going to put up with this. I'm not going to continue dating you. See you later. And that's what I mean by learning from your mistakes, but also learning by things that you've done as well. Like, maybe you haven't reacted well to that or whatever. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I am. But I know that I put up with a lot of crap that I shouldn't have put up with. And it's because I was too forgiving. And it's hard when you've got children, you try to be very forgiving. And I was raised with Christian values, so you think you just have to keep forgiving people. And then, you know, when you find yourself just not reacting well, then that's your cue to go, if this person's behavior is making me react in a way that I wouldn't normally react, then that's your red flag, for your cue to leave, because it's not good for you, you know. So yeah, I mean, I have a peaceful relationship now, you know, and Ben and I work things out together and we communicate, and it's completely different to what I've had before. And at the end of the day, some people just aren't compatible and they don't get along, and whatever, that's all I'm going to say on that. But it does teach you a lot. Anyway, so I was in that mindset. I'm saying being single for 7 years did do me a lot of good. I read every book I could get my hands on, and I think it helped me to choose a partner who, you know, is like we work together and it's a good relationship. And I have had a frog in my throat the last few days, so you'll have to excuse me. But yeah, basically, I've learned a lot over the years. And getting back to the whole filter thing, when I had those men make those comments to me, it really upset me. But it really made me take a long, hard look at myself and go, well, you know, why do I feel the need to post filtered pictures? Like, that's not the truth. That's not who I am. And just because Instagram says that I should post filtered pictures, like, you know what I mean? And it made me realize that it was okay to show my wrinkles. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not have, to not have makeup on. I mean, that's how I am in real life. I mean, my hair's not washed. I haven't got makeup on, whatever. So even though those lessons hurt, it did teach me something. And, I'd rather show up and be real than try to keep up with a false ideology that I know I can't keep up with. Like, I've got fibromyalgia. I cannot maintain a perfect facade. I cannot maintain wearing makeup every day, having my hair washed every day, having my hair perfectly dyed. Like, I've got to ring up the hairdressers in a minute and book a hair appointment to get my hair done. And, there's been times where I had to just let it go because my pain levels were too high and I couldn't get to the hairdressers. And, so I have no chance of trying to be perfect, and it's the last thing that I want to do. I just want to be real and turn up, and just being happy is more important than being perfect. But yeah, like that was a hard lesson, like being told those things. And look, I think those guys were rude to say those things. It was not kind, and it wasn't that I tried to go out of my way to show myself as being something that I wasn't. I don't know. Like, I think everybody puts up pictures on dating sites that, their best pictures. And then, but like I said, a lot of them were like, I suppose I didn't look fat in the picture. And then when they saw me in real life, I was 20 kilos overweight. And they were all shallow jerks. I mean, but at the same time, everybody's got what they like. And some people just don't like that. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like this guy that gave me $600 to go to the gym was really thin. And he came from a family that was like really hating on people who are overweight, So that's people's preference. People have a right to have their preference, I suppose. And I guess if we didn't have dating apps and we just saw people in real life, it wouldn't be an issue. Like, you'd see a person in real life and you'd see the whole image, without the filters. You'd see them, whatever, see what they look like properly. So I can understand that to a degree, but anyway. So anyway, I think all that crap about, you have to work on yourself and you have to be a certain way before you're lovable is bullshit. I think it's nonsense. Yes, you should work on yourself. Yes, you should learn better, healthier patterns than what you've had in the past. You can do all that work, but it comes a point, like, you're never going to be perfect, like working on yourself should be something you do when you're in a relationship as well. Like with a relationship, you have to schedule date nights and do things together and spend time together. Otherwise, you end up not having a relationship. And I think that's the same thing with the relationship with yourself. You should continue to work on yourself, as like for your whole life. Like, always be growing as a person, and it doesn't have to be anything big, like it might be learning a new skill or a new hobby, or just taking time out to care for yourself. And I suppose, through everything I've been through, that's what I've learned. Work on yourself, work on your relationships, and know that it's okay to not be perfect, and you are good enough just as you are. So that was my chat for the day. Finally got there in the end. My camera died, I've had a frog in my throat, but that's my advice for everyone today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.